Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode episode 156. We're on the Tour de France. It's part number 3, and it's stage number 9. Second of the decisive, pivotal climbing stages along the way. We've got a couple more of those decisive stages to go after this, but we're approaching the halfway mark. Now, so far, we've had a wonderful, wonderful race. Rodriguez already in the yellow jersey, and actually by a pretty comfortable margin. We've got about a minute and a half lead overall. Today, that could change drastically, and as good as his +4 is, and don't get me wrong, that's very good, we got a terrible draw on the race day condition today. I know, there's a lot of green up there, but if you've been following the last couple of episodes, you'd know my net, because we really prepared for this race well. Multiple reconnoitering trips, including for this stage, so everybody got a +1 for today's stage because they all went on that trip. Objectives for multiple guys, fitness peaks for most of the team, positive morale for a bunch of guys. When you throw it all together, our net is a +21. We are well below that. Well, we're +12. So -9 on the draw for the day is actually quite bad. Really bad. So that's unfortunate. That was unexpected. Despite that, I think we're okay for the day. +4 for Rodriguez and all. +4 from Millar. For Mark's +4 helps, but it's not great. Johnson's +2 is okay. The key guys are in fairly good shape. It's going to hurt with Moreno and Killen on their -2s. That's where a lot of that negativity came from, because literally everybody on the team should have a +2 or better. Okay, well, whatever. We move on. There was a large break of 20-something riders. It's now down to just 14, and the gap's opened up a little bit, so I think we're starting to get a little more content with the current makeup of the group, as it is now approaching that 2-minute mark where we tend to sit up a little bit and get on with the program. Already down within 100k to go on the stage, even though it's only the second climb, and it's still kind of part of that first climb. It's one big mountain that Pac-Man just took a big bite out of. And once we hit the top of this one, we'll get water for the first time. It looks like we'll need to do so twice on the day itself. So far with this one, Millar's doing good, Rodriguez is doing good, Johnson's doing good, for Mark is doing okay with it. Peloton's already starting to struggle. We are approaching the top. Killen, I think, is going to get there. He's going to run out of energy here in just a moment, but there's the top. We go over the top, we begin our descent. Somebody needs to get on with getting some water, and let's make that Baranja. Baranja, go ahead and get water. How far back is Killen? Not far, so we'll be fine on that part. It's going to take a while. I should have had Baranja go 500 meters before the top or something like that, and he would have dropped way back. It's hard to do that from here. Yes, it allows him to recover comfortably, but we're already going to be hitting the next climb before he even gets the water, let alone starts making his way back through the peloton. At the moment, 55, this could be good. Yeah, hand up early. See, he's already starting to scoot his way back forward. Okay, that was good. That was good timing, that there was that brief split there that allowed him to skip half the peloton and get his water. Still, not that close to the front as we begin our first Alls Cat of this tour. Let the pain and suffering begin. Killen already in pretty sad shape, so we're going to have to gel up fairly soon for him. I think we can hold this 77 for now. It looks like it's not too bad. Killen, heart rate 166, pace isn't that bad. We're starting to pull back a few more breakaway riders. It's down to just 5 off the front. And now Killen is struggling. Let's go ahead and bring on his gel. Moreno will be the next one to go, but at 159, it's not too bad. Same with Baranja. Those guys actually might even make it through this climb unless the pace picks up. We have a gap today. I'm not interested in trying to establish a new gap unless we get late on that final climb. And then we... Oh, Marino. I was looking away, and you were getting all tired and flustered. All right, well, he's going to drop out. Peranja down to 68 in the Peloton. So Ineos, I noticed that they came to the front. They've upped that pace a little bit, and that added to that suffering quite quickly. Marino's out the back. Oh, maybe not. Down to 54. Baranja fading. Their front group is disorganized, and some Moreau is in trouble here as well. We're going to get a chance to recover here shortly. Baranja's not going to make it that far, though. Vincent Zeta just squeezing his way into the group here at the back. Mesnada gets dropped. That's a 77 mountain. Down to 46. I'd love to get water here, but this is not the time to do it. Moreau does need that gel, though. This is the time to do so. And for Mark is riding solo, let's get... Rodriguez, I mean. We'll get Vermark on the task of protecting him. Okay, just 2 riders left off the front. They are Toynes and Haig. Very good climbers. That makes sense on how they're out there. They've actually gotten together. What's their gap? 10 minutes. No threat. I don't care if they go off and win the stage. Not thinking about that today. I'm definitely focused on the overall and protecting Rodriguez as long as we can. Not thinking about taking time out of others. Like I said, this is defense of the jersey today. It's these long, lumbering climbs where everybody else seems to have that endless stamina. And they're the ones that make me nervous. All right, over the top, we need water. I'm going to have Mark do that. Moreau needs to recover a lot more. Nice long descent. A little bit of a valley down there before we really start the next climb, so we'll be okay. And with a smaller group, it's not that hard for Mark, who's the current king of the mountains, by the way, to get up there and get this done. It looks like he'll even possibly get it done on the descent itself. That would be nice. He has recovered now. Moreau's still recovering. We are going to need to up the pace for this final climb upcoming. Looks like we're pushing this descent pretty hard. Front 2 gaps down to 2.5 minutes, so they're not pushing quite as hard. Even this flat section is going to cost them some time. At 2 minutes, I don't think they're going to hang on to it with just 2 riders out there. And this many. 45 riders in the chase. All right, all set for the final climb. Gap already down to minute 22. Ineos, high pressure at this point. We're going to have to push a little bit harder, just a little for now. This is not sprint train. This is definitely protect your rider for later. Moreau's already used his gel, so he's not going to last terribly long, especially with his slender yellow bar compared to the others. And we begin the final climb. $13.5 max near the top, 5.5 average, but it's 22 kilometers in length. The final bit is definitely the hard part of this climb. And if we're still in great shape by that point, that's fantastic. The front 2 are out to 2:14, so right now, Ineos not pushing there. 1 rider on the front is not making this hard. And that's good for me. I got 5 riders who are fresh. We actually had a few riders get back on. Ineos has given up on the front, but they still have plenty of riders. I think they're just preserving them. The final climb, that's the part where I want to have a go. If possible. And the pace has picked up. Großschartner doing the hard work for Bahrain, McLaren, and now we are in a little bit of trouble. Vermark needs to use his gel. I was thinking about sprint training this thing to the end, but now I'm not so sure. It's still 10K. That's a lot of distance to cover. You know what? We've got to. We've got to. I think it's too dangerous not to do something here. Do we want Millar or Johnson? 82 climbing with 83 resistance. Oh, yeah, easy decision. Okay, Moreau. Let's see what an 86 will do. That'll bring us to the front.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Vanderpool wearing the number 1 jersey. Ineos starting to put some pressure on. Moreau's nearly done. $7.5K to go. On to Vermark. Okay, we need to get Johnson gelled up and ready to go.
Another attack. This time it could go all the way.
Come on. Oh, come on, Vermark. You butthead. I push you to the left side and he immediately pushes back. 6.5K to go. This is the steepest section right here. That was already it. That was the 13.5%. So we don't have to actually hold out that much longer. Down to 41. Still chasing those two. Get Millar ready. 6.2K. Okay, this is controlling the Peloton. This is keeping others away from attacking. We're into this yellow section now. So we've got one more steep section, and then that's not the finish line at the top. There's still a little bit more after that. Millar's already into his gel. Johnson's going to be done here in a moment, and we're seeing Pogačar going for it, so this is where we need that response. Carapaz also going for it. Millar is handling that. We've caught those front two. Of course, there's now a new front two getting ready to go, but with 1.4K to go to the top of this thing, Rodriguez is going to be able to ride pretty hard and maybe leave this group behind. If we attack over the top, 2K to go, can we leave those guys behind? No. 5 riders heading for the finish.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
4 riders heading for the finish. Now sprinting it out. Pogačar is going to probably beat us to the line, but we'll take second on the stage. And it's a breakaway away from everybody else, so we actually pick up some time. Carapaz takes third, Mernick fourth. Latour, another good stage. Another good stage. Alaphilippe hangs on. Wow, what a ride from him to get 6th on the stage. Gaudu, Simmons, Moss. Tish Benoot rounds out the top 10. Just outside of that is Millar. That was Johnson. Rounding out the top 20. Trentadue all the way down to 19th. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Vermark 35th on the stage. That's going to drop him down the order a bit. Really don't care, though. Bronzer rides clear. 1.3K and sprint it out. Moreno, your turn to go for it. 1K and sprint it out. And Killen's right there. All right. Second on the stage, so not a stage victory, but losing 4 seconds to Pogačar does not hurt at all. We have plenty to spare on that part. The fact that we gained time literally over everybody else and only lost 4 seconds to Pogačar comes off as another wonderful stage. And this is the type of stage where we typically lose time. That long grinded out climbing where we slowly lose power and lose stamina, and everybody else seems to have endless amounts of it and then attack 5 times and we're left trying to respond. Today they didn't attack. We actually were able to control the Peloton well. So let's see those time gaps and get a quick update on where we stand on the overall. 12, 22, 42, and over a minute, and then a minute 25 to the bulk. That now puts us at a minute 14 to Pogacar. How did he gain that much time? I guess he was only a minute 18 down. Okay. But now 4 minutes to Mernick and Trent to do. Gaudu at 5, Carapaz at 5, Andrade nearly 7. Yep. This is very quickly turning into... Well, you can't rule out Mernick yet with that 80 time trial. But this is very quickly turning into, say, a 3-horse race. Plenty of racing to go, but we'll have the fitness peak throughout. As long as Rodriguez, something bad does not happen to him, fingers crossed, we should be okay going forward. We've got a few sprint stages coming up in the near future, so we'll be quickly making our way into the next bit of the race. On to stage 11, and the unspeakable has happened. Fortunately, not to Rodriguez, though. Moreau went down in a crash, has just made his way back to the Peloton as we're beginning one of those very challenging stages. In fact, this is a real 2021 stage that I'm really excited to see. We're on stage 11. We've had a rest day. We had a sprint stage. And now we have 3 climbs on the day. But we have Mont Ventoux twice. Yes, we're climbing Mont Ventoux twice this year. That's crazy, right? Okay, Moreau, I'm gonna just kind of manage Moreau for right now. Everybody else is comfortable at their 78. You know, the funny thing was, it was really hard for Moreau to get back. It took him a lot of kilometers. There was only 2 riders, but he did have help. He did have support from the other rider. They had to ride really hard to get back onto the group. They've definitely lifted that pace a bit now, but you can see Moreau is just going to make it over the top here, maybe? Nope. He's done. He is done. We're going to be without Moreau the rest of the way. That hurts. He was only a +2 today, but that's still, that hurts a lot. One rider short due to a crash. All right, well, 137 in the Peloton. My goal now, especially after losing Moreau, I would like to get everyone or almost everyone over the top of this first time up Mont Ventoux. This is 21 kilometers, 5.7%, 1,900 meters of climbing. Not too bad until the final bit. This is the easier way to climb Mont Ventoux, which is why it's also only category 1 and why you can see we're already well up the climb before we even started it. But then we do the hard descent, the big descent, and then we go up the difficult way. And then I think we go down the way we're going down here in a little bit. So we'll be going down the same way twice. All right, Baranja and Vermark are definitely struggling as we hit the harder bit here.
The pace is really hot, so for the moment, we
use their
shouldn't see too many
gels. I'd
attacks.
like to see them make it to the top. Killen also in a little bit of trouble here. Moreau 9 minutes back, so yeah, he's long gone. Peloton hasn't shrunk that much. It's at 96, but this is just such a long, difficult climb that even without it being at a high tempo, it's doing a lot of damage to a lot of riders. We need water again. We still have 78k to go, though. We're going to have to wait on the water a little bit. 71 riders. 27. Oh, I would have loved that 27 to hold a little bit longer. Baranja, how far back did you end up, buddy? Far enough back to get water.
Now's not the time to give up watching.
Okay. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Okay, everybody else is looking pretty good other than that whole they need water part. Vermark is nearly recovered. Killen's nearly recovered. Baranja's not going to. He's going to struggle. He will not make it long. But we're setting ourselves up for the final climb, and that's the big thing. Today, again, time not something we really need. Johnson's gone back to get water. That's not good. We're already into the flat, and Baranja still has not gone up there. We're down to 53K, so that part's good. We can maybe get away with just the once, especially with that long descent. It's going to be so quick. There you go. Water done. Water is done. Get back on protecting Rodriguez, please. And Johnson. Okay. All right, we're good to go. Good to go. Second time up, Mont Ventoux coming in just a moment. Johnson, a little tired. Didn't get his full recovery thanks to taking it upon himself to go get water when Baranja was not able to make it very quick. We have 20K to go, and it's ridiculously steep. As much as I want to sprint train, yeah, no, not at this point. Let Ineos do the pushing for a little bit and just try to hang on. Conserve energy. And keep an eye out. If they go early, then we will have to sprint train and manage and pull. In terms of the breakaway, they're actually not going to be a threat. The stage winner is going to come from here. It's already down to 61 riders. Baranja's already been dropped. Looks like we have at least one team leader here. Freeze, just a 71. Durando. Seeing some guys that it's a little early for them to be going out the back.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Who's this? Bowden. 13 minutes down. Couldn't care less. Do care. Bernal might be in 13th, but I do care. This is... If Ineos isn't going to push it, then they're going to put the onus on us to handle things. And that's a little worrying. We don't need to chase those guys. But we do need... Okay, Bernal did not take off. But we do need to manage this. Couldn't care less about Bowden. Do care about overall management of the Peloton, so we're going to start nice and easy. Rodriguez is doing okay with this pace. Okay, I think we could actually even slow down just a hair. 55 left in the Peloton. There you go for Mark. Johnson, these guys aren't going to last long. Johnson, Gel. We're actually a good bit of the way up already. And a lot of the steepest parts of the climbs were where we just went through. Alright, on to Johnson. Mark's going to drop back. Johnson's going to hand over the reins to Moreno here quite shortly. I'm going to pause. I do not want a 99 for a moment. Let's go 79 for Moreno. There's a lot of climbing still to do. Let's go 78. Down to 50 riders. We're in control. Like I said, the worst bits of the climbing are in the first half. And we are halfway through. That's a long ways to go for 3 guys. So we want to manage this pace. Bowden's still up the road, but he's not far. And again, couldn't care less if he goes on and wins the stage. Big split, just 30 riders left now. Masnada has missed out. $9.3K. Lars going to be able to climb on for a good while. Soler dropping back.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages.
Bowden continues on ahead of his teammate. Moreno, how well can you climb for a little bit longer? This is going to invite an attack, so we want to watch. In fact, we're going to watch a little bit further back. Pogačar's the big threat, along with Mernick. So we want to keep an eye on them, but we'll save Millar for defense for now. Or for nearing the top anyway. $6K to go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Millar, let's take over. Keep that pressure on. Goodbye, Moreno. Good work. Put a hurting in on these guys. You can see they're struggling to keep up. This is going to create some big splits immediately. You're going to see some riders going backwards. Down to 12. Okay, it's all together at the front. Millar's still leading it out. 4K now. He's already led 2K. There goes Moss, Conchi, Simmons. Okay, there's one of your top 10 riders going out the back. Down to 14. Toynes has fallen off. Down to 13. $3K to go. We're going to attack soon with Rodriguez. Down to 12. Millar nearly done. 2K to go. Rodriguez going on to the attack. Millar. Good work.
An attack is
Who
launched.
can respond? 1.7K. Down to 4 riders.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Still 4 riders. Ease off, ease off. Carapaz, Pogacar, Mernick, the only ones with me, and we drop Carapaz as we go over the top, just about around the corner. There's your top, typical top of Mont Ventoux. There's
They're
that
heading
big
downhill,
peak.
so they've got to make sure to keep warm and make no mistakes on their trajectory.
And it's down to just 2. It's Mernick and us. We've opened a gap also. And this is key because Pogacar was the only one who was really in striking distance in terms of the climbing. Mernick, of course, has a little bit of striking distance when it comes to the time trial, but he's 4 minutes down overall.
Falling behind! A team leader is falling behind!
18 kilometers left, but Rodriguez is not screaming water, so we'll keep the pressure on.
The finish line is getting close. The riders have just
Okay,
passed the
Mernick
15
actually taking
kilometers
a
road
turn.
sign.
That's good. 12.5K to go, and it's all downhill, so we should be able to maintain gaps.
The finish line is getting close. The
Under
riders
10K
just
to go.
passed the 10 kilometers road sign. A group of riders
Back
is
onto the
coming
top.
proper, but they all look ready to set off again.
7K to go. It's happening quick. Let's slow down for the finish. Please don't crash.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
Shouldn't say anything. Might jinx it. Three and a half K to go. $2K to go.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
We're starting our attack because, well, it's
They
straight.
can go flat out to the finishing line
Can
at
we
the
hold
bottom,
him off
but
for the
they've got to
stage?
watch
Yes,
their
we can.
trajectory on the way
Stage
down.
win for
He
Rodriguez.
snatched victory in
His
that
third.
last sprint
Mernick
finish.
grabs
He
second
can
right on
thank
his
his
heels.
teammates who led him out
Pogacar
in
loses
perfect
a little bit of
conditions.
time,
The race
plus
is
the
run,
extra
but the
6
poor
seconds for the
souls
time
bringing up
bonus.
the rear continue to cross the line. It's a bit of a knock for the morale.
Millar fighting for 6th, though he's at the back of the group. Bernal's in this group. Carapaz was 4th. Andrade was 5th. Big gaps there. I mean, it's already 2 minutes. Already 2 minutes to these guys. 3K to go. Millar was 9th on the stage. Bowden took 12th after his nice attempt at an attack, but it failed. Moreno makes his way through these guys to he'll get in the top 20 for the stage. That's 5.5 minutes down to that group. Now Johnson approaching the finish with a couple. Vlasov and Barrow. Oh, huge time losses for those guys. Totally out of contention now. Simmons was 15th on the stage. I know he's top 10 overall. Moreno. Tintoni was right there behind Moreno. He took 20th on the stage. Here's for Mark. His time losses. He's going backwards, but that's fine. He's a puncher, not a climber. Today we gained 4 seconds on Mernick. We gained 21 on Pogačar. Carapaz over a minute. Andrade nearly 2 minutes. And then, yes, 2 minutes to that next group. So massive gaps. We continue to stretch our lead at the top. Now over a minute and a half to Pogačar. 4 minutes to Mernick. 6 to Trentadue. Carapaz, nearly 9 to Andrade. Those guys are totally out of reach now. It really is already established that we are going to be on the podium. Mernick's almost too far back at this point, but not quite, especially because he can time trial. If those two were reversed, Mernick and Pogačar, you could just about rule out Pogačar, but at a minute and a half, he's absolutely in range, and Mernick at 4 minutes, maybe if things fall apart on us. Of course, the fitness peak is definitely going to last throughout the tour, so it's going to be hard for us to have really bad day in the saddle, but we'll see. You never know. You never know. It's possible. Really only a couple climbing stages that we got to worry about anymore. Time trial is going to absolutely go in our favor, and a couple of easy punchy stages. So from here on out, the opportunities for them to get serious time back is really limited. So I'm absolutely liking our chances right now. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.